You're drinking poison. That green tea you bought because you wanted to be healthier. It's contaminated. The one you chose because the label said organic and natural. Loaded with heavy metals. The brand your mom recommended? Recalled twice in 4 years and still on shelves. Green tea was supposed to lower your cholesterol, reduce your cancer risk, give you antioxidants. Instead, it's giving you lead, arsenic, pesticides banned in 17 countries, and fluoride levels so high your bones are softening while you sip. This isn't about cheap tea bags from the dollar store. This is about premium brands, the ones charging you $8 a box. The ones with wellness influencers in the ads. The ones your doctor doesn't know are destroying the exact organs you're trying to protect. What I'm about to show you will change how you shop forever. Here's what's happening in the next 10 minutes. I'm exposing 7 brands by name. I'm showing you the lab reports they don't want you to see. I'm explaining exactly what these chemicals do once they enter your bloodstream. And I'm giving you 2 brands that actually passed independent testing. Not the rigged studies funded by the tea companies themselves. But I need something from you first. Drop the brand sitting in your kitchen right now. Comment it, because chances are it's on this list. And if enough of you admit you've been drinking it, maybe, just maybe, someone at the FDA will finally pay attention. Let's start with the one that broke my heart. Celestial Seasonings. You know this brand. Your grandmother drank it. It comes in those boxes with the cozy illustrations. Sleepy Time Bear, Honey Vanilla Chamomile. It feels safe. Nostalgic American. In 2013, independent lab tests found 91% of Celestial Seasonings tea contained pesticide residues. Not traces, residues plural. We're talking disulfan, a neurotoxin banned by the EU in 2005. Monocrotophos, linked to birth defects in 12 peer-reviewed studies. Propaclar, classified as a probable carcinogen by the EPA's own documentation. But here's the betrayal. Celestial Seasonings marketed those exact same boxes as natural, as wellness products. They put quotes from Herbalist on the packaging. They charged you 3 times what Lipton costs. And the entire time, their supply chain was drenched in chemicals that accumulate in your fatty tissue and don't leave. Endosulfan doesn't break down quickly. It stays in your liver. It crosses the blood-brain barrier. If you've been drinking this tea daily for 5 years, you've been microdosing a neurotoxin every single morning. Your tremors, your brain fog, your unexplained anxiety. Maybe it's not stress. Maybe it's the tea. And the taste gives it away once you know. That slightly bitter aftertaste you thought was earthy. That's chemical residue. The way the tea smells, faintly like grass clippings even when it's steep. That's not freshness. That's contamination. Children are the most vulnerable. Their developing brains can't filter these compounds the way adult systems can. If you've been giving this to your kids because you thought it was healthier than soda, you need to hear this. You've been poisoning them with good intentions. Celestial Seasonings knew. They had access to the same tests. They didn't reformulate. They didn't issue warnings. They just kept printing natural on the box. Is this in your pantry right now? Next up, Lipton. The biggest name in tea. The one in every grocery store, every office break room, every hotel lobby. Cheap, convenient, trusted. In 2014, CBC News commissioned lab testing on Lipton's yellow label black tea and pure green tea. Results? Both contained pesticide levels exceeding Canadian safety limits. We're talking levels so high that if this were produced, it would have been pulled from shelves immediately. But tea isn't regulated the same way. The FDA has guidelines, not laws, guidelines, which means companies can exceed them and face 0 legal consequences. The specific pesticides found in Lipton. Monocrotophos again, plus thiamethoxam, a neonicotinoid insecticide linked to colony collapse disorder in bees and nervous system damage in humans. At the levels detected, regular consumption could interfere with your acetylcholine production, the neurotransmitter that controls muscle movement and memory formation. If you've been drinking Lipton daily and you're suddenly forgetting names, losing your keys, struggling to focus, it's not early onset dementia. It's chronic low-level poisoning. And the texture tells the truth. Lipton tea leaves feel dusty, chalky. When you tear open the bag, there's powder residue. That's not tea dust. That's filler. That's the remnants of a production process designed to maximize profit per ton, not safety per cup. Seniors are especially at risk. If you're over 65 and drinking this because you heard green tea prevents Alzheimer's, you're doing the opposite. You're accelerating cognitive decline. Lipton sells 4 billion tea bags a year. They have the resources to source clean leaves. They choose not to. Have you experienced memory issues while drinking this? Number 3, Tavana. Sold in Starbucks. Premium price point, loose leaf, fancy tins, it screams quality. In 2016, Tavana was hit with a class action lawsuit alleging that they're organic. Teas contained illegal pesticide residues and heavy metal contamination. The case was settled quietly. No admission of guilt. No recall. Just a payout and a gag order. But the lab results leaked. Lead levels in some batches exceeded EPA limits for drinking water by 300%. Lead doesn't leave your body easily. It accumulates in your bones. It leaches into your bloodstream over decades. If you're pregnant and drinking lead-contaminated tea, it crosses the placental barrier. Your baby's IQ could drop by several points before they're even born. The smell is the tell. Tavana's green tea has this metallic undertone. Not strong, just there. You probably thought it was minerals from the soil. It's not. It's contamination from industrial runoff near the tea plantations in China. And here's the sick irony. People buy Tavana because they think Starbucks wouldn't sell anything unsafe. Starbucks has a reputation to protect, right? Wrong. Starbucks is a coffee company. Tea is a side product. They outsourced the sourcing. They slapped their logo on it. They charged you $18 for 4 ounces. If you have high blood pressure, lead makes it worse. It constricts your arteries. It interferes with calcium regulation. Your cardiologist told you to drink green tea to lower your pressure. This tea is raising it. Tevana knew the contamination existed. They settled rather than face discovery in court. Would you risk this? Fourth brand, Byglow. Another American classic. Family, owned since 1945. They make a big deal about that. 3 generations, trust the recipes. Quality you can taste. In 2013, the same lab tests that nailed Celestial Seasonings also tested Byglow. Results? Pesticide residues in 83% of samples, including DDT metabolites. DDT was banned in the United States in 1972, banned for 50 years, and it's still showing up in Byglow tea. How? Because Byglow sources from countries where DDT is still legal, or where enforcement is non-existent, or where old contaminated soil still leaches banned chemicals into new crops. They know this. They import it anyway. DDT is an endocrine disruptor. It mimics estrogen in your body. If you're a woman drinking this tea daily, could be why your periods are irregular. Why you're gaining weight around your hips and thighs despite eating clean. Why your libido disappeared. Your hormones are being hijacked by a pesticide that was supposed to be extinct. Men aren't safe either. DDT exposure is linked to lower testosterone and reduced sperm count. If you've been trying to conceive and it's not working, check your tea. The aftertaste lingers. Bitter. Slightly soapy. You've been tasting poison and calling it robust flavor. Children and teens are hormonally vulnerable. If your teenager is drinking this, their development is being compromised. Byglow could source from clean suppliers. They don't. Because contaminated tea is cheaper. And most people don't test their tea. They knew. They kept selling it. Marketing over health. Number 5. Tazo. Owned by Unilever. Sold in every major grocery chain. Bold packaging. Exotic names. Zen and Calm and Awake. It promises balance. In 2017, a French consumer group tested 48 tea brands for pesticides. Tazo's green tea flagged for propargite, a miticide linked to kidney and thyroid damage. The levels weren't insane, but they were present, and propargite accumulates. 1 cup doesn't hurt you. 500 cups over 2 years might. Your kidneys filter your blood 20 times a day. When you introduce a nephrotoxin, even a mild one, you force them to work harder. Over time, they scar, they weaken. You don't notice until you're in stage 3 chronic kidney disease and the damage is permanent. Tazo also tested positive for fluoride levels exceeding safe thresholds. Fluoride in toothpaste is one thing. Fluoride consumed daily in hot liquid is another. Excess fluoride causes skeletal fluorosis. Your bones become brittle and dense at the same time. You fracture easier. You heal slower. The tea itself has this artificial brightness. The green is too green, like it was dyed, because it was. Color retention agents aren't listed on the label. They don't have to be. If you're diabetic, fluoride interferes with insulin sensitivity. Your blood sugar regulation gets worse. Unilever owns hundreds of brands. They have entire departments dedicated to regulatory compliance. And yet, this got through. Have you felt kidney pain after drinking tea? 6th brand, Yogi. The irony is suffocating. Yogi tea positions itself as holistic Ayurvedic. Spiritual, the boxes have mantras printed on the tags. Be present. Breathe deeply. You're supposed to feel zen just holding it. In 2018, Greenpeace Germany tested Yogi's green tea blueberry slim life for pesticides. 13 different residues detected. 13. Including acetamiprid and imidacloprid, both neonicotinoids linked to neurodevelopmental damage in children. But here's what makes Yogi worse. They charge a premium because of the wellness branding. You're paying extra to be poisoned by a company that quotes Buddha on the packaging. Acetamiprid crosses the blood-brain barrier in children under 12. It disrupts dopamine and serotonin pathways. If your kid has been drinking this and they're suddenly more anxious, more irritable, less focused, it's not a phase. It's neurochemical interference. The tea tastes artificial, overly sweet. The blueberry flavor is synthetic. You can tell because real blueberry essence fades when exposed to heat. This flavor stays aggressive even after the tea cools. That's not fruit. That's flavoring agents masking chemical aftertaste. If you're on antidepressants, neonicotinoid exposure can reduce their effectiveness. You're working against yourself. Yogi could source clean herbs. They choose not to. Because the markup on spiritual wellness products is insane and they know most buyers won't test. They knew. Marketing over health. Drop your Yogi story in the comments. Last one. Uncle Lee's Legends of China. Imported. Cheap. Found in discount grocery stores and international markets. The packaging looks authentic. Traditional. You figured it was safer than American corporate tea. In 2015, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation tested Uncle Lee's green tea. Lead levels were off the charts. Over 70 times the safe limit for a single serving. 70 times. Lead poisoning is cumulative and irreversible. Every cup you drank added to your total body burden. Your bones are a lead reservoir now. When you get older and your bones start to demineralize, that lead will leach back into your blood. You'll get poisoned again by tea you drank decades ago. The leaves look gray-green, dull. When you open the box, there's a faint industrial smell, like metal and dust. That's not packaging odor. That's contamination you can smell. If you're over 50 and experiencing unexplained fatigue, joint pain, or cognitive fog, get a lead test, especially if you've been drinking this tea for years. Uncle Lee's is cheap because it's industrial waste. The tea plantations that supply them are located near factories. The soil is poisoned. The water is poisoned. The leaves absorb it all. No recall was ever issued. Would you risk this? Now let's talk about the two brands that actually passed independent testing. First, Numi Organic Tea, certified organic by USDA and EU standards. Third-party tested for heavy metals and pesticides every single batch. Transparent sourcing from fair trade farms in India and China that are geographically isolated from industrial zones. Numi doesn't just slap organic on the label. They publish test results on their website. They list the farms. They show you the certifications. This is what accountability looks like. The tea tastes clean. No bitterness, no aftertaste, just pure leaf flavor. Second, traditional medicinals, also organic, also third-party tested, also transparent. They specialize in medicinal-grade herbs, so their quality control standards are pharmaceutical level. No pesticides detected. No heavy metals above trace amounts. These brands prove the industry could do better. They just choose not to, because contaminated tea is more profitable. And most people don't know the difference until it's too late. You now have the information. Go to your kitchen. Check the brands. If any of the 7 I just named are sitting in your cupboard, throw them out. Don't finish the box. Don't give them away. Trash them. Replace them with Numi or traditional medicinals. Yes, they're more expensive, but you're not paying for marketing. You're paying for safety. Your health isn't negotiable. Your family's health isn't negotiable. The tea companies know this. They're counting on you not knowing. You know now. What you do next is on you.